Our latest contenders here are perfect for those who are seeking decently performing phones under a budget. Mabuhay Manila, you got Drew here from ManilaShaker.com, and we're back for another phone off, this time between the Xiaomi Redmi 4 Prime and the Moto E3 Power. For our contenders, the Redmi 4 Prime will be made of metal, while the E3 Power will be clad in polycarbonate body. Starting with the Redmi 4 Prime, the metal unibody has a slab of plastic at the top and backing portion, making way for signal reception. The fingerprint scanner is also located at the back, along with a 13-megapixel main camera with dual-tone LED flash. The antenna lines run along the curve and to the sides, meeting the chamfered edge and the 2.5D glass on the front. A thick black bezel surrounds a 5-inch display. The top portion locates a 5-megapixel front-facing camera, earpiece, LED notification, and a pair of sensors. The chin houses the 3 non-backlit capacitive keys. Physical buttons like the volume rocker and the power button are found on the right side, while the opposite end is where the hybrid dual nano SIM card slot is located. Up top sits the headphone jack, an infrared blaster, and the noise cancelling mic, while the bottom shares the 2 speaker grills and a micro USB port. Moving through the E3 Power, the removable plastic cover is being held by a metal frame. Removing the cover gives access to the replaceable battery, 2 micro SIM card slots, and a micro SD card slot. Up front, the 5-inch display also has reasonable bezels. Just like the 4 Prime, the top portion is pretty much the same, while the chin houses a single mono speaker. The power button and the volume rocker are located on the right side for the E3 Power. Squarely in the middle, up top, sits the headphone jack, while the bottom locates a micro USB port and a small slit for removing the back cover. Both can be utilized by single-handed use, but the 4 Prime provides a cooler touch to the hands with a more premium look and feel, thanks to its metal design compared to the rubbery feeling of the E3 Power. In this category, the Redmi 4 Prime wins. Both displays are equipped with IPS LCD at 5 inches, but Redmi 4 Prime will be set at 1080p compared to 720p for the E3 Power. The Redmi 4 Prime will obviously have crispier image reproduction due to the higher pixel count at 441 pixels per inch compared to only 294 for the E3 Power. The Redmi 4 Prime has better color reproduction that leads to warmer tones compared to the cooler display for the E3 Power. When being used under direct sunlight, the 4 Prime reads better. The Redmi 4 Prime also features reading mode, which reduces background glare and also has double tap to wake option. For this category, the Redmi 4 Prime wins. The E3 Power will have an 8-megapixel rear-facing camera compared to the 4 Prime with 13 megapixels at f2.2. Daylight shooting will have the Redmi 4 Prime produce a more natural look and feel compared to the cooler underexposed version for the E3 Power. Indoor shooting for the 4 Prime is a bit washed out compared to more details to the livelier image of the E3 Power. Either contender struggled in low light scenarios seen here as the E3 Power produced a yellowish photo overall. The LED flash will aid the E3 Power with popping colors while the 4 Prime got sharper results. The built-in LED flash will aid either devices, where E3 Power got more colors compared to the 4 Prime, which is paler but sharper in comparing. Night shooting didn't go well for either contenders as they resulted in blurry photos. The E3 Power can record up to 720p that resulted grainy, comparing to the 4 Prime it can go up to 1080p with some sharpness. Selfie games are at par with one another with a 5-megapixel front-facing shooter for both our contenders. The Redmi 4 Prime had a wider angle and sharper points but with paler results comparing to the livelier version for the E3 Power. The Redmi 4 Prime wins this one. Under the hood, the 4 Prime is packing a Snapdragon 625 system-on-a-chip octa-core CPU at 2.0 GHz with Adreno 506 GPU paired with 3GB of RAM, while the E3 Power has the modest MediaTek 6735 quad-core CPU at 1.0 GHz, Mali T720 GPU paired with 2GB of RAM. What's written on paper here will obviously show on Antutu benchmarks as the 4 Prime scored an impressive 62,000 points, twice the score of the E3 Power at 23,647 points. The 4 Prime is capable of delivering your daily needs for a smartphone. It can handle a few open applications at the same time and play graphic-intensive games like Real Racing 3 with decent frame rates. The E3 Power lags behind due to its weaker processing capabilities but should be sufficient for basic tasks and casual gaming. The fingerprint sensor is only found on the 4 Prime. It is fast and accurate, where 9 out of 10 tries were successful. The Redmi 4 Prime wins this one again. The power in Moto E3 Power translates its name in the battery department as it lasts longer than the Redmi 4 Prime despite the smaller capacity. At 3,500 mAh, the E3 Power survived with 44 hours of standby time and 6 hours of screen on time. The larger 4,100 mAh battery pack of the Redmi 4 Prime is also not to be underestimated as it was able to last almost 38 hours. This also resulted in 30 minutes shy of screen on time comparing to the E3 Power. The E3 Power also charged the quickest at 1 hour and 45 minutes, while the 4 Prime capping off at more than 2 hours. For this category, the Moto E3 Power wins. The 4 Prime has 2 metal grills at the bottom, but only the right side houses the main speaker, and the E3 Power has a single slot speaker by the chin. There were no distortions for either devices when volume is maxed out, but E3 Power has trebly sound while the 4 Prime had louder output. For this category, the Redmi 4 Prime wins. The Moto E3 Power will be retailing at 6,999 pesos or about $140 US, while the Xiaomi Redmi 4 Prime is estimated to land at about 7,500 pesos or $150 US before taxes. The Redmi 4 Prime excels in almost every category that makes it a more enticing buy for an extra 500 pesos comparing. What do you think of our phone off between the Motorola Moto E3 Power and the Xiaomi Redmi 4 Prime? Let us know in the comment section below. If you have any questions, you can hit me up on Twitter at Ginuhit. Don't forget to hit that like button if you want to see more phone offs like this. As always, don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. For the latest in tech, keep it locked in on ManilaShaker.com. Once again, this has been Drew. Mabuhay, Manila.